street speeds by. Sonic the Hedgehog, too fast for the naked eye. Sonic the Hedgehog, he can really move. He's got an attitude. He's the fastest thing alive. Good day, everybody. So, part 2 of our end of an era. This one a little bit more depressing than our previous one, because really the other one's just an evolution and not a death. This one is a death. So, one of the biggest things that brought me into the furry fandom was video games, and my interaction with video games. That's why I play anthropomorphic video games on this channel, because I was a big gamer back in the day. And of course, the Blue Blur was one of the biggest names in anthropomorphic things. Now, don't worry, y'all. Sonic is still alive and well. Sega's still around. They'll still be making Sonic games. There's 2 coming out this year that I'll probably be playing on this channel. Probably. It's probably a definitely. It's definitely. You're definitely going to be playing it. Don't sass people like that. No, they'll definitely be playing Sonic Mania. Probably I will play Sonic Mania in fursuit. I'm going to be that crazy. I'm so adept with my Sonic playing skills that I will probably play it live in fursuit and to the enjoyment of the internets. But we're not here to talk about the future of the Blue Blur. We're here to talk about the past, or at least the end of basically what is dubbed the Sega of America branch of the franchise. For those who are not aware, there's really 2 Sonics. It was called the Mobius Project Mobius or something like that website. Did a lot of fan stuff and talked very nerdy about this particular genre. One of the biggest articles they did was talking about Sega of America versus Sega of Japan, and sort of how they both sort of had their different styles. This is mostly brought about by the licensed comic from Archie, which presented Sonic in a more conflict-oriented storyline, which I think it was that inspired the cartoon of the Saturday morning known as Sat AM for short, Sat Tam, with Sally and Bunnie Rabbit and all these different and unique characters to the stories. Now, the comics and the cartoon shows had their misses, but overall they had a very good, solid story, sort of drama, a lot of conflict, with the right sort of dash of comedy. I can't speak too much for the comics themselves. I know most of this sort of arc from the Sonic AM cartoon show, not so much the comic book. I have experienced some of the comics here and there. I do know enough about its storylines, and sort of, I kind of did the wiki sort of thing on it, but I haven't really read through the comics myself. However, to know that that's the foundation in which your inspirations came from in your youth, particularly when writing, the characters are so freaking well written that they sort of taught me how to do characterization sort of right in sort of a sense. They sort of gave me a stepping stone. They gave me characters to play with as a writer, as a starting writer in high school and middle school. They give you characters to sort of play with. And that's the thing about fan fiction and stuff like that a lot of people don't discuss a lot, is that you play with these, if you can't come up, you're going to come up with your own original content in the future, but there's no harm in taking other people's characters and playing with them to try to, hone your craft and share it with others, as long as you're not making a profit off of it, as long as you're having fun with it. Obviously, there's some people who disagree with that premise. If you write, particularly other writers, and if they write, they don't look very happily with other people messing with their characters, Whereas in gaming media and other stuff like that, they might not care so much about written works. They might care if you're doing gaming works, like Pokemon and stuff like that. But that's sort of an adjacent. So needless to say, I was inspired by the Archie thread, and I also made my own fan fiction. And of course, everyone's like, "Ooh, I want to see your fan fiction." I was like, "No, it's I really like it was a long time ago. My writing skills were pretty poor. You should definitely not Google Sonic a hole in fabric. You shouldn't do that. You will be sorely disappointed." And it's my skills weren't that great back then. But the funny thing is, like, I wrote it between 2002 and 2005, and over time you can see my skills improve. It's kind of that cool thing where you can see sort of a style evolve from what is like really bad, and then it's like, oh man, it gets better over time. But the characterization of those Saturday morning cartoons was really the foundation and inspiration, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have found interest in anthropomorphic writing and stuff like that. So very much so, my history is very much tied with a history that has come to a close. So let's talk a little bit more about sort of the why it came to a close. Well, Sega of Japan, Sega of America, or Archie couldn't come, or Sega and Archie basically, not Sega of America. There's still a Sega of America, there's still a Sega of Japan, but basically Sega and Archie couldn't come to an agreement on renewing the license, and they basically went their separate ways. There's a lot of rumors and speculation as to why the license couldn't get renewed. One big one is one of the former writers of Archie apparently made this storyline around certain echidnas, and they were eventually let go from Archie, but and then Sega made a game called was the Dark Brotherhood Chronicle. I can't remember. It was the RPG one for the 3DS, was it the 3DS or was it just the DS? I can't remember. But it was it was that Sonic RPG button thing, interactive sort of medium combat, and it sort of had that Sega of America art style. And to me, that was freaking cool. So of course I played that game, even though it had its flaws. I dig the art style. I wanted to support a Sega of America sort of style. But unfortunately, that Sega of America style got Sega into trouble with that former Archie comic, because apparently the character of Shade, which was a echidna character in the game, someone tried to sue him. And that kind of behavior sort of leaves a sour taste in people's mouths, and so people are sort of blaming that negative interaction. So if you look up the lawsuit revolving around that game and Archie and all that, you might see a little bit more into it. Whether that is or not, at the end of the day, Archie Comics and Sega couldn't come to an agreement. Thus, Sonic's 25-year reign in the comic business, which is a long run, is coming to a close. The most depressing part about it, though, is that basically, was Sally Acorn, Bunnie Rabbit, Antoine, those characters from the Saturday Morning AM. This was their last hurrah. This was their last sort of stand. And basically, unless Archie just lets them go or sells them to Sega or something miraculous happens, those characters are basically dead. You just take a tie and just hang it up there, hang those characters up to dry. They're gone. They're dead. They died, son. And that's unfortunate. Amy has her moments of being a strong character, but she's definitely no Sally Acorn. I'm sorry. Sally Acorn is hot. And so am I, because it's fucking July. Whew, I should wrap this up. Sally Acorn's lady gets things done, and I like that. but she's not like wooing over Sonic. Like, oh God, Sonic! I love this Sonic. Oh Sonic, Sonic's my key. It's like she's, she plays cool. Like I love the style of like her. She's just as sassy as he is, right? I love that. I love that about their sort of interactions. Is that she could hit him just as hard with a good snark as he could. Like the interactions between them are like, it's just like. It's like a literal like sort of a chess match, really. It's like you're gonna say something snarky, I'm gonna say something snarky about you. Oh, but it's like Sonic was more wooing over her than she was over him, and so Amy's kind of like the opposite of that. She's always wooing over Sonic, and Sonic's like, get the heck away from me. Whereas Sonic's like wooing over Sally, and Sally's sort of like, okay, but not really. Like. It's still will they, won't they sort of a dynamic. So I like that style a little better, just personally. But it's unfortunate to see that sort of dynamic go. I really hope that I'm wrong, but at this point in time, it really does seem like the freedom fighters are no more. And the cloth of acorn is hung up upon the sill for one last hurrah. So here's to you. Here's to you. There's nothing in here. Magic's ruined. Anyway, so let's end on what the future of Sonic is. Okay, so so let's bring it back a bit. So Sonic Forces recently came out with a video today. I'm recording this on the 20th. About this character from Sonic Forces. They have introduced the antagonist, and his name is Infinite, and you can watch the video of him up here. And speaking of Sonic fan fiction, my gosh, is this video game becoming Sonic fan fiction really, really, really quick, guys. I mean, literally, they put an antagonist who's a literal Gary Sue, who looks like a mix between a hedgehog, an echidna, and a fox. It's like, look, it's like he's got the dreads of an echidna and sort of spiky like a hedgehog, and he's got the tail of like a fluffy fox. And he's faster than Sonic, and he's stronger than Knuckles, and he can fly like Tails. It's like, literally, this is a Gary Stu character. So who's going to stop this Gary Stu character? It's the Mary Sue that you create for your game. Original character, do not steal. This is literally like, it's literally becoming Sonic Forces to Sonic fanfic forces. Seriously. It's like we're creating our own original character to defeat the evil character that Sonic and team just can't beat by themselves. Because he's too powerful, man. It's crazy. Anyways, I wanted to end it on sort of a positive note, because it's like, life goes on. But unfortunately, the freedom fighters don't. I'm probably going to go back and reread what I wrote back then. Because just to sort of like go, remember the good old times. When I was inspired by some woodland creatures in a secret base in a forest, and their conflicts with an evil, tyrannical, fat man, pompous, full of himself dude. It's as if they were trying to prepare us for something. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna get the hop out of here. Kick that like, kick the subscribe button, kick a comment in the comment section. How did you feel about the Archie Universe Sonic, the Sega of America style of storytelling? Are you going to miss it? Are you going to go be like, okay, good, maybe, or are you going to be like, okay, good, maybe the Sega of Japan arc can get some love? But anyways, I'm going to get the hop out of here. Thank you very much for watching, as always, and I hope to see you again next time. See you later.